Welcome back, everybody, to the Andy McKenzie Career Mode series. Today we continue Andy's second NFL season with the Houston Texans. This is Game 5 right here for Andy, and the Texans are 3-1, with Andy having 7 touchdown passes and 4 interceptions entering this game. Now this is against the winless Indianapolis Colts, 0-5, and McKenzie comes out dealing a 3rd and 13 pass. Pretty close call there. There was DeQuell Jackson in coverage, but the catch is made by Josh Hill. McKenzie then goes back to the air, steps up, looks for running room, and he's across the 45 and slides up near midfield. This Colts team definitely has a lot of rebuilding to do, especially on defense, and so I wanted to see what McKenzie could do against the defense that didn't have the speed to really match up with them. Here he goes up the sideline, but a flag came in like an hour ago. And after a pretty good run like that, you might think holding on the offense, but it was holding on Janoris Jenkins. So a couple nice runs by Andy on this possession, and he goes back to the air, 2nd down. Floating outside the pocket, eyeing Hopkins, he makes the throw, and Hopkins makes the catch at the 9-yard line. Now they're looking to find the end zone. McKenzie to the air, to the end zone for Jalen Strong. Touchdown, Houston. Rocking the all-red alternates, by the way, in this one. There were some close calls on that possession, but McKenzie made his throws. And we jump ahead later in the first quarter. Texans lead 7-0, as the Colts did not have Andrew Luck in this matchup, and they were forced to watch Andy and DeAndre Hopkins do their thing here. Back to Hopkins, and this time it's intercepted. Well read by William Gay. He jumps the dig, and he takes it away. Andy's 5th interception in as many games. But the Colts cannot do anything with Chad Henne at quarterback, so it's still 7-0, and McKenzie's not done going to Hopkins. Now against Vontae Davis, he's still throwing his way. 1st and 10, here's a handoff to Alfred Blue. We're still running the football here, but no Arian Foster, inconsistent run blocking. You're going to see mostly passing from Andy McKenzie. To the air in Colt territory, up top for Strong, but he can't make the catch there in traffic. And we'll see 3rd down now and 11 to go. From the shotgun, blitz brought, and Andy is on target. They do not match up well against tight ends, so a double move against DeQuell Jackson on 3rd down is a perfect play call. To the air on 2nd down, McKenzie hits Jalen Strong for their 2nd touchdown connection of the game. It was a spot concept that time, and they covered DeAndre Hopkins, but not Jalen Strong. It's 14-0, and we skip ahead. It's late in the first half. 14-zip, and the flag flies in as McKenzie again hits DeAndre Hopkins, but it was another holding on Indy. At the 30-yard line, right back to the air, good pockets, and a good throw to Hopkins. It's going to be a big day for those two as Hopkins takes them down to the 9-yard line. Catch number 5. Spreading things out, 3rd and goal. Can he get his 3rd touchdown? He won't force it here. Now in trouble and just gets it away as he was very close to being sacked. Texans take the 3 as we go on to the 2nd half, and you can see that the Colts are just not putting up much of a fight against them. 0-5, no Andrew Luck. It's not going well, and it's a good time for the Texans to try and establish the ground game. And perhaps some play action. Going up top for Hopkins, but just out of his reach. He faked the jet sweep. He created separation going upfield against Vontae Davis, but Andy's just a little too far out in front. They settled for 3, and the Colts answer with their very first points. Watch this. McKenzie with a perfect throw to the sideline. He missed Hopkins last time, but make sure he's on the money right there. How about a bubble screen to Hopkins? He outruns one linebacker and picks up around 7. I wasn't sure how that would work, but it was pretty effective. 1st and 10 now, and Hopkins is not the only receiver on this team. There is Malcolm Floyd, the opposite starter, for a 1st down catch on the post. And play action again. McKenzie doesn't want the short throw. He wants the big one, but it goes off the hands of Garrett Graham. We go to a 3rd and 6 now in a 2 tight end look. McKenzie very patient, and the ball goes off the hands of DeAndre Hopkins. So a couple drops here. They add 3 more And you can see it's a 20-point deficit in the fourth quarter. Time to get Alfred Blue going. You can see 20 carries. He wasn't being neglected. And now it's time to punish this defense and put them away, as Blue has another strong carry there for about 7 yards. 3rd down and 4. They'll still pass it. Slant, caught. First down, DeAndre Hopkins. And come on, he's at 97 yards. Might as well get him to 100, right? So on 1st and 10, keep it in the air, and they don't even cover him. Big hole in the zone coverage, and DeAndre Hopkins takes it down to the 5. Perhaps a chance now to add some more points, but McKenzie, he's not going to throw it down here. Hand off Alfred Blue. Touchdown, Houston. That was a pretty easy game for the Texans against the team they were expected to beat. 30-3, they improved to 4-1 on the season. Andy with a pretty solid performance. He did have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdowns, some good yardage in the air and on the ground, and the Texans handle the Colts easily. The Colts hardly had the football in this game, as Andy had 35 passes, completed 60% of them, and still managed to give Alfred Blue the ball 27 times. Hopkins led the way with 116 yards in the air on 9 grabs, and now we jump ahead. The Minnesota Vikings are Andy's next opponent, and with this being on the road, it means Andy McKenzie is headed back to Minnesota. He's from St. Paul and played his college ball at the University of Minnesota, and for the first time in his career, he will not be cheered in his home state. He's facing his hometown team for the very first time. What can Andy do today? He has Arian Foster back in the lineup. That is great news. Foster gets it. First play of the game, and he's going nowhere. Harrison Smith makes the stop. And Arian Foster is hurt on the first play of the game. So back with Alfred Blue in the game, and here's McKenzie flushed out right. Good coverage, and that was a lot of effort to get an 8-yard completion. This Viking defense is ferocious. They can bring the pressure. They have good cover guys. And here McKenzie doesn't see the open slot receiver and checks it down. And Eric Kendricks makes the stop. So the Vikings get the upper hand early but can't get points afterwards. Andy back to work, and there's the slant. Malcolm Floyd against Captain Munnerlyn. Height difference there is pretty great. So that's a matchup to watch out for. But the running game. This Viking defense is hard to run against. And Alfred Blue doesn't find any space there. After backing up 2 yards, they go back to the slants, and this time it's DeAndre Hopkins' turn working against Xavier Rhodes. That makes it 3rd down and 2. They keep it in the air. McKenzie to his right, has room to run, but throws instead, and it's incomplete for Alfred Blue. And on top of that, McKenzie stepped over the line. So that was a huge blown opportunity, but still the Vikings don't capitalize. Texan ball again, Alfred Blue doing what he can. You can see Arian Foster not back in the game. 1st down, Andy stops and sets his feet to hit Jalen Strong, and that gives them a 1st down into field goal range. They don't want to waste this possession. On 1st down, great coverage downfield, and Andy is planted by Sharif Floyd. There's another incompletion. You have to be quick and decisive against this defense. 3rd and 7. McKenzie flushed out, flag down, and wide open. Josh Hill gives them a 1st. But what's the flag? Holding on the Texans. And now McKenzie has to settle down Brandon Brooks. It's 3rd and 17. At the 38, they'll just run it here and try to get in field goal range. Blue gets them about 6 yards, and that brings out the kicking unit. And here is Sean Sweezum from 49 yards out, giving the Texans the lead. But this was a very short-lived lead, as the Vikings matched that field goal on their next possession. And they're not done blitzing Andy. That time it was Eric Kendricks, and McKenzie just sails that one out of bounds. 3rd and 5. They creep down Harrison Smith, bring the blitz, but McKenzie hits DeAndre Hopkins, and the Texans get a 1st down. You can see Andy 8 of 11 so far, back to the air again. Off the edge, though, Everson Griffin beats Derek Newton, and McKenzie is sacked. 2nd and 17 as they open things up empty, and McKenzie again for Hopkins. He makes the catch, and Hopkins is shaken up. There wasn't a big hit here. It was a pretty routine tackle, but Hopkins in a lot of pain. They lost Foster on the first play. And now it's DeAndre Hopkins being checked out on the sideline, and it's not looking great at the moment. But back to the field, 3rd down and 3. Can McKenzie get them a conversion? Man coverage, and they get the pressure as well. Griffin there for the 2nd time. If it wasn't him, they had 2 more defenders in the backfield. Edge pressure and interior pressure with Sharif Floyd. Now we go to the next Texan possession, starting at the 1. No Foster, no Hopkins. Alfred Blue gives them some space here. It's a gain of 4. You don't want to be punting from your own end zone now. 3rd and 6. And McKenzie hits the rookie, Malcolm Riley. That's a big play. They needed that one badly. With Hopkins out, that puts in Riley, who has good size at 6'1", and elite speed. On 1st down, they get the pressure again. The nickel blitz. It's Jabari Price. McKenzie sacked once more. They get to 3rd down and 12. Flag down. McKenzie flushed. He sees his opportunity and takes off to run. And this will depend now on the flag. Holding. This time called on Minnesota. They flag Captain Munnerlyn. So a nice break there, but they decline it. Inside handoff, and Alfred Blue is not finding any space. Anthony Barr and Eric Kendricks are doing a great job in run defense. It's forcing a one-dimensional offense. 3rd down, McKenzie hit again by Jabari Price and throws incomplete. Constant pressure, whether they blitz or not. They're keeping the Texans off the scoreboard, but so is the Texan defense. 23 seconds now to go in the half. McKenzie going up top, and this is an interception for Harrison Smith. Just trying to make something happen before halftime, but these defenses have been in full control. Here is a second look. Great play by Smith, helping out the smaller Captain Munnerlyn against Jalen Strong. We take it now to the second half. A field goal apiece as another blitz gets to McKenzie, and it forces another incompletion. On 3rd and 7 from the 39, McKenzie outside, and Floyd couldn't hang on. Rhodes with the hit. Another failed possession. Then the Vikings took over, and Teddy Bridgewater helped orchestrate a good possession, leading to the game's first touchdown. So back to the Texans in the 3rd quarter, and here is Andy again lobbing for Riley. They want to use his speed to create separation. Nobody else is escaping their corners. So his speed is very handy right now, and the run game is just not happening. Alfred Blue stopped by Eric Kendricks. This team can go sideline to sideline, and they have the guys in the middle to clog your inside runs too. On 2nd down, here's McKenzie evading the rush, getting out to the right, floating it up deep, and Rhodes picks it off. What a play there in zone coverage. Excellent awareness. Seeing the receiver work across the field and getting in perfect position to intercept the pass. Perfectly played there by Xavier Rhodes. We go ahead later in the 3rd quarter, still 10-3. Trying to mix things up now, get the ball to Michael Riley. But Captain Munnerlyn takes care of that screen. They make it a 3rd down and 5. McKenzie going to his man on the outside. It's caught by Malcolm Floyd. As McKenzie gets the 3rd down conversion, they get to the Viking 39. On 1st down, Kendricks picked up, McKenzie flushed, trying to hit Floyd again, and there's Xavier Rhodes, having a great game against whoever he's matched up against. They're going to try the run again. Alfred Blue angling to the outside. Smith and Munnerlyn are there. Nowhere to go. Can McKenzie help pull out another 3rd down conversion? Sliding right. He sees Riley break open and finds him for another 1st down. So with Hopkins injured, Riley comes in to help make the big difference. In the red zone now, and there's Anthony Barr. McKenzie never saw him coming, and there wasn't much time to react. They lose 10 there, 2nd and 20. McKenzie rolls out right. Riley cuts upfield. McKenzie puts it up, and it's intercepted again by Xavier Rhodes. Another heads-up play for his 2nd interception. What a catch. Xavier Rhodes ends another Texan possession, and Teddy Bridgewater leads the Vikings down the field for a field goal. And that makes it a 2-possession game with 3:21 to go. Texans haven't scored since the first quarter, and Linval Joseph sacks Andy this time. 2nd down and 20. They bring another blitz, but McKenzie counters to Josh Hill on the corner route. That was a much-needed big play. So 1st and 10, 3 minutes left to go. Putting it up for Rams is Barden, who goes up to get it. Back-to-back big plays. They get to midfield. Now, 3rd down and 10. McKenzie has the rush get there again, and he doesn't take the short option, instead floats it out for Riley and misses. So it's 4th and 10. Can McKenzie get the conversion? Off the edge, Chase to his right. Only one receiver on this side, and McKenzie's hit from behind. The Vikings defense was just too much. Without Arian Foster or DeAndre Hopkins to help him out, Andy McKenzie only managed 3 points against his hometown Minnesota Vikings. That defense sure came to play. They shut down the run game, they got pressure, and Xavier Rhodes had 2 impressive interceptions. McKenzie closes with 227 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 2 that were really important. The Harrison Smith one wasn't really a big deal. They could not run the ball though, and when DeAndre Hopkins went down, there went the passing game with him. Malcolm Riley provided some sort of spark, and Derek Newton allowed 3 sacks today. 2 to Griffin and 1 to Anthony Barr, I believe. So here is a look at Andy's stats now over his career. He's at 9 touchdown passes, 8 interceptions this season. Not the ratio we wanted to see, but the Texans still lead the division by 1 game over Jacksonville. Let's get back to DeAndre Hopkins. This is the play that he was injured on. Just your standard dig route, routine tackle there by Munnerlyn, but Hopkins was shaken up and hurt pretty badly. And on that play, DeAndre Hopkins suffered a herniated disc, and he is going to miss 7 weeks of action. That's a pretty major injury. And without DeAndre Hopkins, we'll see if the Texans do what they did last year when Hopkins was injured. That's when McKenzie and Jalen Strong developed their chemistry and were very effective together. Could we see McKenzie again look to a rookie receiver to help boost the offense? Malcolm Riley has a lot of speed and will see a lot of snaps in the slot. Jalen Strong as well could see many more targets. He had 2 touchdowns in the Colts game in this episode. The Texans certainly aren't missing a physical presence at receiver with Hopkins injured. However, none of these players are as good of route runners or just as good at making catches as Hopkins is. So the offense is definitely going to see some changes, and Arian Foster will be good to go in the next game in Week 8 when the Texans take on the Denver Broncos. And we'll see if Andy McKenzie can withstand the pressure from Von Miller and crew next time. Thanks for watching, guys. That's it for episode 20 here in the Andy McKenzie Career Mode series. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought down below in the comment section, and hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys next time. Have a great day.